Log back on. Hey there. Sorry, I thought it would leave you guys in the meeting. I was wrong.
No, don't worry. It's everybody still
Yeah, they're
gonna have
coming.
to log back in.
They're coming. Hey, Brian. It's good to see you, brother.
Hey there. Sorry I'm late, guys. I had a bit of an emergency that I've gotten pulled in or a bunch of phone little deals. So I'll listen in while you're all talking and jump in where I can.
No problem. It's great to have you. Hey, sorry, I didn't realize it would kill the meeting when I left. So anyway, but we're back, and let me share my screen now. Sorry. This is, well, as we talked to, remember on the website, when you went through foundations, you really basically went through in those 2 days, you went through an 8-hour workshop, right? So there are those resources available to you already on the website, right? So what I did is I stole a bunch of those because that's what I do, right? Because I got permission. Because I'm a wheel line coach, we're allowed to use them. So I always take stuff and make it mine, right? So this is a workshop I did. It was a 8 to 9. Just a second. My wife is locked out, I think.
A day in the life of Bill Mason.
Yeah, imagine being in his mind.
Right. Has anybody here been through the exchange training?
I
Mm.
looked into it. I haven't done it.
I
Okay.
haven't done it.
I think that Dale went through it. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
And Scott went through it, I think.
Yeah. And I've been through it as well. So, yeah, I was just curious. So, Bill's back. I'll give it
Sorry.
back to you, Bill. That's
Yeah,
okay.
also, how many hours is your first one? Your first workshop? How
Huh,
many hours are you going to do for your first
uh,
workshop?
my workshop with them next week is going to be 2 to 3 hours. I'm going to talk with them about it tomorrow.
Okay. So this is just to show you some of the things we did. And I do have worksheets for almost all this stuff, right? So
Okay.
I like the 5 dysfunctions of a team because I think our let me go to the other slide. Our and if you want any of the slides, any of these slides that I show you, I'm more than glad to share them in Canva.
Okay.
Um,
Thank you.
I think 49% of all conflict, because I use conflict a lot, is difference in personality and lack of being able to trust each other is often caused because you don't know or understand the other person. That causes distrust. And so our targets that we're shooting for, our SAP really aims at working on this trust and fear of conflict. So we're going to help you deal with that. Then our workshops are going to help you gain commitment to one another, and they're going to help you to gain accountability with each other, which should produce results. And the workshops and our one-on-one coaching is aimed at trying to build this part of this puzzle right here, right? Does that make sense? So I
Yeah.
usually use this because I like it, right? And I just skim through it. So that's one of the things I use a lot. It takes for the intro, like if I did a 3 hour, I might not do that the first time. But what I probably would do is do a little 20-minute review of Clifton's. I would probably do a 10 or 15-minute review of Rare Leadership, meaning like this one I have here is, oops, what happened? It disappeared. Hold on a
Yeah.
second. Let me reshare this.
And now I've done workshops with them before. So I did a opening workshop. I did
Okay.
this. I've done a couple different. So this is their retreat, and I want to kind of uh, tee up working with them for the next year. So I like what you're talking about with the 5 dysfunctions of the team.
Yeah, so
Uh,
that would be a good workshop because it
okay.
it shows that it's probably going to help show their need. That
Mm-hmm.
makes sense. Sorry, I'm still trying to find. Oh, no, it's that one.
Whenever I use the 5 dysfunctions, I'll do a survey beforehand, like a
Oh,
10-question survey, and sneak in a couple of questions that really, what I'm going to use as a segue into the five dysfunctions, talking about the baseline of the trust, base the pyramid of the trust. And I found that very helpful. So a lot of times I'll just have a real brief survey, 10, 12, and then I'll go through the survey. And then the last one deals with trust you know, and some other slides that deal with trust and how that impacts the team, which the five dysfunctions deals with. So I found that a good segue
how did
because
you pick out the questions, Greg, for the?
I basically just self-generate those myself, just kind of knowing who I'm
Okay.
working with. And some are just general of, do you feel like you can speak confidentially, within the team? Uh, do you feel like you've been left out? Or are there times you felt left out? Just some general ones about how they interact with each other and
Sure.
what level of trust that manifests itself when they can be anonymous.
Got it. Thank
That's
you.
really well.
That's really good. Really good. And you could do like if you did this functions, that's easy to go over. And then I usually share this because um we're trying to create emotional oil for relational friction because not everybody's going to admit they have arguments, but everybody has friction, everybody. And the reason we do this is, and the way we combat that is through these ideas of understanding, which is the SAP, then learning to be thankful, grateful, and appreciative. Now, if you can instill that in a team, the team will accelerate if that's the attitudes the team has, right? And the nice thing is, then you can do a half an hour. I'd do like a half an hour on the first brain skill sharing a smile, because that always freaks people out. Did you do that? Did you guys do that when you're in SAP? You look at each other
Yeah.
for
Can you
30
remind
seconds.
us?
Yeah,
Oh,
you just tell each other, hey, pair off. We're going to look at each other for 30 seconds. And you're just going to look each other in the eye, look each other in the left eye. Don't talk. Just look each
okay.
other in the face. If you need to look away, feel free. And immediately people will be like, bah! And it's nice because you can come back and ask, why did you guys, a bunch of you guys started laughing. Do you know why you started laughing? Because your brain was overwhelmed. That's why people laugh. Our ex-vice president, she get overwhelmed and she just starts chuckling, because
Hmm.
that's what people do when they get overwhelmed. They typically laugh or get angry when they get overwhelmed. But laughter is the first sign that if you're in a conversation with somebody and they start laughing inappropriately, like that was weird, it's probably because their brain is overwhelmed. So it's one of the first ways you deal with being overwhelmed. And it's a fun little skill. And then you can talk this. I created these slides so that I could do a real quick, like 20-minute overview of the first, so I can get them to the relational checklists, right?
Mhm.
And I use this a lot. I like this hand model of the brain. It's by some dude, I forget. But I like it because now once I show it to them, this is regulated, this is deregulated, right? Your amygdala fires, deregulates your brain. And if now I can talk to you in a group, so this guy over here is regulated, the other guy's kind of going off. I'm like, bro, you are deregulated. If you go talk to him, he's going to deregulate and things are not going to work out very well. So now whenever I'm coaching, I can go, bro, you're doing this again. What? You are
Hmm.
deregulated. My experience is I think you're deregulated. We probably need to take some breaths. Do we need to calm down? And it's nice because now I can talk about, so RC's on, RC's off. RC's on, or RC's on, RC's off, right? RC's on, RC's off. And so now during the workshop, and then if you think you're getting deregulated, how do you know? I give them little cards with the relational checklist.
Hmm.
Ask yourself these 6 questions. Do any of you feel this way right now? If you do, let's go to box breathing. So then you can teach one skill of I need to figure out when I'm deregulated. Once I figured out that I'm triggered, the one thing I need to do is ask these questions to verify. If I am deregulated, then I need to go do something, either break contact for 2 minutes to 4 minutes. I need to do box breathing. I need to do tapping. There's something I need to do to calm myself down so I can actually have this hard conversation that I need to have. And I think that is invaluable. Is that, if that makes sense, that part of the rare leadership is just invaluable.
Yeah, I'm going to get in on your queue for getting a copy of this and maybe some of your worksheets and
Of course.
maybe some aside time you and I can chat. Because I'm talking to a guy that's a market area president over in Charlotte next week. I've worked with this team, like I said, Operation is Values. We're going to line up something either Q3, Q4 to, and I'm going, this is really where I think they need to be. Of course, we'll go where he thinks they need to go. but I would love to have this toolkit this tool in my toolkit. Another thing that you can do is for, your RCs, there's a video out there and you may have seen it. It's just called above the line or below the line.
Huh.
Hmm.
Mm.
Yeah. Jennifer, have you seen that?
I have.
Okay. And so that to me, I just try to change up a lot, get me out of front of, put something on the screen that's not me and just keep moving in and out of that to keep the flow going back and forth so they never get bored with me. But so I generate that and then you can go into relational circuits. That'd be a good segue. I just thought about that as you were talking about relational circuits. And go, I never used that. Why didn't I? This is perfect. So a lot of times I'll use a both, and it's just a video that talks about like you're going here, regulated, unregulated, how our brain works and the prefrontal cortex and all that good stuff. As you do that, I found out I'm more of a geek about that than most people.
Of course.
And so
Me too.
You're correct.
I start geeking out and I see glazed eyes. So I have to, you know, get regulated myself, get back regulated. But that's a really big part of relational that teams have to deal with, as you know. And I'll quit talking because I tend to overtalk. So
No, you're good. You're good.
back to you.
I
But
like the input.
if I get this from you and I
Sure.
kind of cherry pick some of this and to craft it to the team that I hope to be working with in the next month or two, that'd be great.
Well, and if any of you guys want it, just email me. I'll send you the copy. So
Email.
I'm not good with admin, so I might even write it down and then forget to do it. So, but if you
Okay.
email
You
me,
have an admin, Bill.
dude,
Assign
I
it to.
suck at admin. I'm yellow. I suck at
No, I
admin.
know you do, but you've hired somebody because you
Yeah,
suck
not
at it.
anymore. I lost my income, so I had to fire her.
Oh,
No.
It's okay.
there's a
It's fine.
pain point. Sorry about that.
It's fine. It's no big deal. You just do
Yeah.
it. I was a pilot for 10 years, so I know how to
Oh,
do it.
yeah.
I just
Yeah.
don't like it.
Yeah.
This leaders you love to follow and hate to follow is really good because you can just add, two whiteboards or two, um, whether there's those butcher blocks and just have them write out. And then you switch the teams and have them write it out again. When they're done, you can talk about, well, what did you find that leaders you don't like? And now what are leaders that you do like? So who are you guys going to be as a team? You have a list you've already created. Are you
Mm.
going to agree with your values? Now you should tell each other when you see one beat somebody being a leader they don't want to be, will you make an agreement that we can say, hey, remember, that's not who we are. We are not people who micromanage. We are not people who gossip. We are not people who grumble and complain. We are not people who see scarcity instead of abundance. And it's nice because they made the list, right? So that's a good, I've found that been pretty helpful. And then I have a list off of this group made. This is the list they made. So you have it as an example as well if you need it. Then I also have this from the back of Rare Leadership. There's a worksheet that looks like this. Well, I mean, these are the questions from the infant, child, and adult.
Hmm.
Are you an infant, child, or adult, right? So do you blow up ease? And I usually just read the, right? So I just read these. Hey, so I gave them a worksheet. Take 5 minutes, check off any that apply that you've done in the last 3 months. Have you done any of these behaviors in the last 3 months? Do you blow up easily? Expect others to change, blah, blah, blah. Do I expect people to anticipate my needs? And when you go back through that, I usually use this. I tell them, hey, so when I first did this at 50, I realized I am an adult child because they won't probably admit that they do it once they figure out it's childlike behavior. And I remind them at 3 to 5, you can train a 3 to 5 year old not to do these behaviors, right? But especially over the years in ministry, almost every wife that we've dealt with expect others to anticipate their needs and act without being asked, and they think you don't love me if you don't. It's just childish behavior. And men tend to blow up. That's the typical response. Men just blow up and they think it's perfectly fine, you
Hmm.
know. So I like this, even though you got to be careful that you don't trigger them in the process,
Yeah.
right? But you can talk it through, and if they can talk through that, yeah, I do this sometimes, and I don't like it. Yeah, I do too. I do that too, and because I'm trying to help them be more vulnerable with each other, so they can build trust without hurting each other's feelings. So that's a worksheet I have that I use too. I like this is another worksheet I do where you take your top 15 and you fill out what your sheet looks like. You do like first would be self-assurance. Woo is number two. And I don't know if I have mine. Yeah, okay. So this is mine, right? So this is what I look like out of my top 15. What do you notice about who I am?
Highly influential.
And if I don't get to be influential,
Then you're
yeah.
not energized.
Yeah.
You're
And
not by yourself.
if I have to not influence you and just hang out and relate to you all day,
Yeah. It's not your jam.
I have to be really careful because I get bored with people, even my best friends. Because if I'm like with them for more than a couple hours, I'm like, are we gonna do something? Because I'm kind of bored here. Or if I get stuck just executing a bunch of stuff all the time with no one around, it
Mhm.
just sucks the life out of me. And this is good to have them show you, have each other show you, because you're like, oh my God, it just shows the data in a different way.
Yeah.
And I also have that for the bottom ATIS too, so you can see what that looks like as a worksheet. Um, 100% I would do an affirmation exercise with them if you haven't in the past. And what the affirmation exercise is you get 5 minutes. We're going to highlight Susie, and Susie is first going to talk about her top talents and what she likes about that and what she contributes. Then we're going to go around the room. Everybody has to comment about her top talents. You get a minute each person, and don't backhandedly slap people. Don't go, oh, she's really happy, but she's really sloppy. Let's not do that. Let's just talk about what we like about people and what's good, right? And then I have this slide deck that I can use, or I mean, I have these so that you can make these for people, right? So it's again another way for them to see who people are. Does that make sense? But I've found the team affirmation has been the best of all the things we do, the best, most helpful thing we do. Because when was the last time you sat in a meeting with 12 of your other employees and everyone told them you were awesome?
Yeah. Bill, can you just walk us back through how you run that team affirmation exercise again? So let's say you got a group of 20 people.
Yep.
How do you do that again?
20, it's going to take you 5 minutes per person. It's going to take 100 minutes, right?
Okay.
So one of two ways. If it's too big, I might break them into two people or two groups of 10, right? Which I
Okay.
might do. And then basically I just put the whoever's up, they get a minute to talk about themselves. And then like if you had 20, I would probably limit it to 5 or 6 people. But I would do it so it was like in a row. Does that make sense? Like if like let's say they're sitting around a circle. If he's
Okay.
sitting here, I would do the next six. Then I would take the next person and make the next six do it. And the next person. So everybody's going to get the same opportunities, but they're not going to no one gets a buy because somebody that doesn't like you is going to have to tell you something they like about you.
Okay. So if you go back to that slide, the guidelines for just a
Yes.
moment, please.
Yep.
Uh, so each person, so let's say Bill, you're the first in line. Um, the next six people are going to say something they like about you. Is that for
The
five
four, well,
minutes?
I guess if it's 5 minutes, the next four, I guess, in this one.
Okay. Each teammate, okay, is spotlighted for 4 minutes. So as many people can say 1 minute affirmation, each person.
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay. So four teammates get 1 minute each to pick a signature talent and share an example or story or affirmation list. Okay. Got it. And then there's a 1 minute response. The team
Yeah.
member,
At the end, how did you feel? How does this
okay,
make you feel? Oh my
before you
gosh.
move on to the next person.
Correct.
Got it.
So
Thank
it
you.
actually runs 6 minutes, I guess, in this one.
Right.
That makes sense.
4, 5, 6. Yep.
So 10 people in 60 minutes. It would take 2 hours to do 20 people.
Got it.
And the break in there would be helpful
Yes.
because it gets
You
long.
have a lot of people. I found an old school way of doing it is just before the conference, I know who's there or the facilitation. And so I just take 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, print out a header on it, that person's name, and just set it and say, okay, near the end, then you're write an affirmation of something about the person who's in the header, their name, and then pass it to your right. And then eventually they all get their sheet back around and they have an opportunity to read it. So it's something they also can take with them. And it's more meaningful to some people than others, of
Of
course.
course.
But at
People of
some place,
significance.
it does help move things along. So it does take a while, depending on people you have, but it doesn't, it's takes just
Yeah.
you know.
Well, and I like that a
Oh,
lot. Actually, it might be good to do both, right?
yeah.
Because it would give people to think about, time to think about. And one of the pluses is you're trying to get them to trust each other. So and I usually have to tell them, look each other in the face when you talk. Hey, don't tell me. I don't care. You talk to them. And you have to remind them because people don't want to look at each other and tell them things because it's embarrassing. So I force them. I'm an influencer, so I force people to look at each other. No, no, don't look at me. I don't want to hear this. Tell them. You're supposed to tell them, not me. You're talking to your teammate. I'm not going to be here tomorrow. I don't care. You know. So that's
Mm-hmm.
another thing to be aware of. They don't often look at each other, so you want them to look at each other while they talk to them. Um, it's also harder for them to say mean things if they're looking at each other because it's
Yeah.
hard to look somebody in the face and tell them they're idiots, right? Um, I'm trying to think what else. So I also do team grids, right? I usually have them look, I make a team grid. This is my own. I create my own like this, right? But
Mhm.
then We Align has this one. And I do it just because there's different ones, right? So I want them, what do you observe from looking at it like this? So we'll make observations from that. Then I'll usually go over here. Well, what do you observe from this? So like on this one, I'm trying to see if they've got, well, so like they're not extremely deliberate. This team is not very deliberative. So they're going to take more risks than not, right?
But they're not
Uh,
super competitive either.
correct. Not super competitive. So if you're like, hey, we're gonna have competition, I'm like, whatever, that's stupid.
Right.
But super strategic. They are super uber responsible. I have one company, every person on his team is responsibility in top 10 because he has got
Wow.
like number two responsibility. So he can't stand people being irresponsible. So, and then if you can get this grid from Wheeline, right? And then they also make this grid for you too for teams. So it's the same data. It just shows you can see that team super strategic, belief is really high, relator is really high. Woo, not so much. Significance could care less. Competition could care less. Command, not real commanding. That makes
Hmm.
sense. So I do that, and I think that's really worthwhile exercise as well. Um, this common ground thing, if they're having conflict, I did this with my last team and it was really helpful for them, is I just paired, like if you had 20, I would ask whoever's in charge and say, who are the people who are most not alike, who like don't get along very well? And then I would pair them up, right? And then I would make them do this common ground. And the common ground, this is mine, but soon We Align's going to have it. And if you need this, I can make these for people. I just need a day or two to get them done. Um, it basically shows you red. This is me and my wife. Red shows areas of probable conflict, which means top 15 versus the bottom eight. So my top 15 and her bottom eight, or my bottom eight and her top 15. You can see how much red we have. We've been married 34 years, and we basically, since coaching, have no conflict. Conflicts maybe last a minute or two because now we embrace the conflict. We dig in. I understand where she's coming from. I don't think she's being critical. I don't have her story very high. Oh my God, you're so critical. I'd never say that, but I would think it all the time. So now I'm like, she's just trying to solve a problem. It's fine. It's fine. Hurts my feelings. Hey, baby, I understand that's what's wrong with this. Could you help me understand what's going well? Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. We'll talk about that too. Good, because you're jamming me up. Right. And what'll happen is we've had people who were really having problems dealing with each other just open up and go, "Oh, I didn't even understand that you don't want to do that." Right. Um, if for me and my wife, you can see how high our includer is. If you don't include us, it hurts our feelings. Period. Always. Always. Now, I know that's not always appropriate, but it doesn't matter. It still bothers me. And if you have a boss who has not got includer and you've got a subordinate who has includer and they never get invited to meetings and things and they think they should be, it is really going to piss them off because the boss is like, bro, I'm trying to do you a favor. You don't need to be there. I just decided you don't shouldn't come without ever communicating that. And the guy who's got included is going to be angry that he doesn't get included. And the boss is going to be like, stop being a baby. Why do you want to be included in all this stuff? That is so stupid. What's wrong with you? Because you don't have that talent. It's all it is. Does that make sense? And it
Hmm.
also shows if they're having conflict, it'll show where they have a lot of similarities. And if they worked on a team where they should go get coverage, right? Like if we need to make something really pretty, me and my wife are not the person to do that. We need to bring in help. So But do you have maximizer high, Jennifer?
Number two.
Yeah, I could tell that. Well, it's good, right? You look at your background. It's beautiful.
Yeah,
You look
straight.
really nice,
Thank you.
you know.
Yeah.
Not that you don't normally. Just saying. Do
Hey,
you-
Bill,
yeah,
that last spreadsheet, I think our last line meeting we had together as a tribe, that they said Deb was working on that.
it
Is
is.
that
It should launch sometime this month or next. So,
okay?
but
Is there gonna
until
be-
then, if you need it, I'm more than willing to build those.
Okay. Well, I hate to. We'll go the route whatever you advise, but I'm
I'm
just
just telling you, you can ask and I can say no. But if you
yeah,
don't ask, but biblically, if you don't ask,
yeah. We circle back to that, right?
you don't get. That's the way it
Yeah.
works. If you don't have because you don't ask, you don't get it because you ask with the wrong motives. I'm a pretty
Yeah.
generous dude. So if I've
Well,
got
I'm
the
looking
time,
at
I'll do it.
basically trying to get a spreadsheet so I can go and plug in some people. I've got this
I can't
CFO.
share it because it doesn't work.
Okay.
And I have to convert it. Like I have to convert it to it's a long story. The guy who made it for me, if I share it to you, it won't work right. I have no idea why. It just will not work. I've tried a
Gotcha.
bunch of different ways.
Gotcha. Way to
Um,
Bill, I love what you've done there with that kind of that potential areas of conflict kind of thing. Is I had a situation where with a coworker, and I might have shared this, is for me is empathy and harmony are pretty high, and harmony was number 34 for him. And I just could not figure out why we kept on missing each other. And he would actually get offended by my desire for harmony
mhm,
in our team situations and
correct.
things like that, and would think that I cared too much about people, and that was he was criticizing me, and I was getting my feelings hurt, and I could not figure out, why do you not care? Like this is a big thing. And when I went back and looked at his SAP, because it had been 2 years since I looked at his SAP, I was shocked. I'd forgotten it, and it's like, Lord, if only I would have paid attention to this a year ago,
Hmm.
I could have saved us from a lot
A lot of
of
problems.
misunderstanding. Yeah.
Yep. And in this workshop, this hour, I usually teach cake from Rare Leadership because if you have conflict, what do you do? One, once you're regulated again, you should go back and say, "Hey, bro, I'm really curious. I thought I said a one, and I got like a nine response for you, and I don't know what's going on. I appreciate that you told me these things. Remain kind, keep eye contact, but I'm curious. Can you help me understand what was going on there? I don't even understand." Because if somebody gives you a response you don't understand, that's the right thing. And then the other thing I do is I usually remind them if you do something to somebody and hurt their feelings or jam them up in a way, you should admit, go back and ask. And if like, man, you really hurt my feelings when you do that. I'm sorry. I didn't know I was doing that. I was wrong. Will you please forgive me? Admit fault, ask for forgiveness, and use cake and come back. Because if you can do that, that is how you fix stuff. You don't saying I'm sorry doesn't fix nothing, right? Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, cool story, but you still did it, and that's really frustrating me. But if I ask forgiveness, I admit what I'm doing wrong. I take ownership. I take responsibility. Now it's up to you whether or not you forgive. I can't control that, but I'm going to do my part so that you should do your part and keep short accounts, you know. I have a workshop for the basements and balconies I do where you take your base balconies and create a paragraph out of it, right? Both your basements and your balconies, because when you read your basement paragraph and it's like, oh, you're like reading it out loud, it makes me feel bad, right? So I do that sometimes. I also have a workshop for intrinsic needs
Mhm.
where we just top five. You basically go take all your intrinsic needs and work it down to your top five, and then you share your top five needs. And like for me, my positivity is number five, but it is my very number one need. I need to have fun. If I don't have fun and I work too much, it sucks the life out of me. I can do almost anything if I can have fun doing it. And I mean, I joke. I grew up on a farm. I can shovel poop all day as long as I can throw it once in a while. We're good, right?
Bill,
Yes.
the basement and balcony, what is the paragraph you're talking about with your
So
basement?
basically, I tell them, so take your top out of your balcony, or I mean, out of your top 15. I don't care how many they have. I just tell them top 15. Your top 15, Write one word for each of the balconies,
Okay.
then take those balconies and create one paragraph that's about 2 to 3 sentences long. That would
Okay.
describe what the sum of that is, the things that are
Mm.
most important. And sometimes I tell them, go back and circle the top 10 of these that you really like about yourself. Same for the basements. Circle the top 10 you really do not like about yourself, and then make that into a 3 sentence paragraph. Bill
Okay. So
Mason is a confident, I'm trying to think about all my, confident, outgoing communicator who brings positivity and you like that, right?
right. And then the basement would sound like what?
Bill Mason is an arrogant um, person who doesn't care about deep relationships. He talks too much. He is insincere and
Blind.
naive.
So is that the blind spots of your top
No,
10?
that's my top basements.
It's your
Self-assurance is arrogant, arrogant, self-righteous, overconfident. That's
it's the basement of
your
of
top 15.
strengths, right? Which is
Yep.
essentially kind of like your blind spots. Like
Kind
your
of, but they're different.
okay, I don't know about where do you get the
Just
basements from?
if you
Are they
they're on the coaching
immature
sheets.
or raw?
Or
It's
Bill,
immature.
when
I'm
you say
sorry,
raw,
raw.
they're
They're
Okay, like
raw in there.
yeah,
unregulated.
Yeah. I
Raw.
don't
yeah,
want that word as well.
unregulated raw,
Sorry. I
yeah,
forgot.
yeah.
I
Got it,
just
got it, got it.
Gallup used basements and balconies before.
They did. Yes.
And I
Yes.
like them better, so I keep using them. But it is raw and refined. And the reason I say that is one of the things about a basement, yeah, about a basement, is that you can you, others will look at you and think, oh, you over include people. And they have the data to prove that. And they're right. I'm an includer. Oh, he's just stupid. He just over includes people who shouldn't do it. And they call that a barrier label. People will put a label on your back, even though I might be completely regulated doing it. I may not be doing it negatively, but if
Right.
I have includer and they don't, they're going to think something's wrong with me, even if I'm refined in my approach.
Right.
Because where I would include people, they would not. And then it becomes a barrier label. That's why I like that, because I can be as regulated as possible and still get misunderstood.
That makes total, even with positivity, right? Like, God, dude's
Totally.
always having a good time clowning around. We're like, oh, I'm
Correct.
regulated. I'm having a good time.
Matter of fact, I'm having very regulated time, you know? Well, it's because my personality is so strong, I've learned in most situations, I just have to throttle back. I'm rarely myself. I just can't be because it's not acceptable.
Mm, mm.
I can at the gym now because I go to a CrossFit gym. We can drop weights and yell and
There you
sing
go.
songs and make a lot of noise and people laugh at you and it's fine. But,
You'll find your
no
people,
horns.
right?
Yeah, I'm with my peeps, right? So it's kind of funny. It is funny. It's one of the first places I've felt, even in all the years of ministry, it's probably the first place I felt completely safe to be who I am, other than when I was in college getting drunk.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
So just reality of life.
it is. It is.
So I like those. They take a while, and I have worksheets for all those, right? And
Okay.
they explain how to do it. I can send you, I've got a workbook I'm creating for a year and it's got all the worksheets in it. So I can send you guys those too. Just remind me.
Okay.
Actually, if anybody wants to help me with it, I need help because I'm follow through is not my forte.
I already
Uh,
send you the emails. So
exactly. The performance grid is really good to do as well. And I changed it a little bit. They talked about changing it so it's like this, but I use it. I made it so it was simpler because I found that people have problems following it. So, oh, I didn't change this one. I made it 0 to 10. So it just makes more
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
Because people who don't have analytical look at this and go, "Oh, my brain just hurts." And they literally have had people not been able to fill it out. So I changed it, but I've got it as a workbook or a worksheet that's 0 to 10, 0 to 10, and it makes more sense. And the 4 quadrants are easy now. Do, develop, because you want to get those to be easier. Delegate, which means you know how to do it. So you teach somebody else to do it. And then delete, just get rid of it because you suck at it. That's the bottom left corner. But if you want that, I have that in an updated version as well. Um, if you want to go through all the talents, I've done those before where you go one talent at a time, go through the executing themes. So you just go one talent at a time. If you need to overview for them, like they don't remember. And that takes about, if you just do it quickly, you can do it in about 15, 20 minutes. And
Okay.
And I go through all the executing, and then I go through all the influencing, and I just go through all those. And it is something you can also do is go through one and say, who's got this high? What's that look like? Who's got this low? What does that look like? And you could just pick a few and do that. And I've done that a few times as well. So you don't, because if you do all of them, it takes about 2 hours. Um, Try and think what else I do. I also have a workshop on window of tolerance. If you're familiar with it, it's helpful
Mhm. Oh
because
yeah.
they can grow their window of tolerance and it can shrink. So helping them to kind of figure that out. Um, that's all I did with them. And typically for me, I bring 5 hours of workshop for a 3 hour workshop, just in case. That way, if I get there, I'm an arranger. So if I get there and I think this would be better, then I can just switch.
Moving around.
So, and I also with my workbooks, I make a workbook for when they come. I've got one of those little comb binders I bought for like 150 bucks. And so, you know, the little plastic ones that you put a comb, they look like this. So I build workbooks
Okay.
because these cost me once I have a color printer. So really it probably cost me about 30 cents to do this. Um, see if I can find a different one. Yeah. So like this is one of my team trainings I gave out. And then it would have the worksheets that they need, and it would have all of their um, the worksheets they're going to do. It has their team grids in it, right? So they can walk away with something. And if I'm
Mhm.
charging you $1,000, if I'm paying $1,000, I want to walk away with something. And this was an inexpensive way to be able to build these. So
$1,000 for what? Like one per person?
if you're paying $1,000 per an hour per for these workshops, or even 500 an hour for these workshops, I would kind of like to walk away with something. So I
Yeah.
decided to do these because they were easy to do. The comb binder costs you about 150 bucks. These are like 3 cents each, and the plastics and the backing are like 2 cents each. You just need a color print. Well, if you're gonna do it in color, you need a color printer at home. And then I
Yep.
just use cheap ink. I just
Yep. I do
kind
the
of
same
work.
thing. Is this isn't one of mine, but I do the same thing as is like I put their SAPs in there, I put all of the coaching sheets in there, I
Yeah.
put their Gallup printed report in there, and then I sometimes add a self debriefing coaching report over their top 10 in there too. Like if I coach a whole team, but only the executive team has gone through SAPs, then I put a self coaching report in there for the top 10. And then I explain how they can figure out their own signatures, auxiliaries, and non patterns so that they can have as much of the shared language as the whole team. Like last year, I did a group of 30 some people, but only six, only the executive team had been through the SAPs. And I hire the bindings done, and it cost me like if I have 6, 7, 8 binders done. I do all of the printing myself. They punch the holes and they put the binders in. Is it might cost me 20, 25 bucks to have them do the binding at Staples. But I print them because it's just cost prohibitive
Yeah, because
to
it's
Kind of
do
about a
color
printer.
buck.
printing.
It's about a
Uh,
buck a page if it's
yeah.
color.
What
Well, and
kind of
I have a blessing as the church that I pastor, they let me do the printing here, and then I
Right.
just pay. I think I pay 10 cents a copy to the church. That's what the
Cost
cost
them.
is for them,
Yep.
and the church kind of sees it as an extension of our ministry. And so if you can find someplace even some offices might let people do the printing and just reimburse the offices for printing. Or if you get a good printer, you can just Google is least expensive color printer, and kind of figure out what that is. But I charge people is as if I figure it in there to reimburse the church for the costs.
yeah.
But for let's say even if it costs me $10 a book, it is so worth
So
it.
worth it.
Yeah,
Yeah, or I will often, I mean, I've had the actual client print the
yeah,
thing. So
and
I'll
I've done that too.
send them a
Yeah,
PDF and I have them
yeah.
print it.
Yeah. I did have the organization because they had 30 people and my time and stuff like that. So I sent them the binders already done so that they could just print on them. I actually organized them in the PDF. I put everything in a single PDF for all 30 people. All they had to do was press print, but they went and got them bound. They covered all of the printing costs, and I didn't have to then worry about reimbursing anyone or mailing 30 books to people all over the state of Montana.
Yep.
Awesome.
One other thing I did, this is the team grid I was telling you guys, or the um energy
Oh
grid.
yeah.
This is how I made it different, right? One other thing I do on this, before I do that, I have them figure up how much they make an hour. And the reason I have a CEO that was making 2 million a year who did not want to spend 500 bucks to go hire some dude for ZipRecruiter, right? And I'm like, bro, seriously? How much do you make an hour? I don't know. So we figure it up. He makes 1,000 to $1,500 an hour. It's going to take you 40 hours to do this. So you're going to spend 50 some thousand dollars of the company's time so you don't have to spend 500 bucks. Really? And the other reason I do this, if they know how much they make an hour, then it's easier for them to understand. If you make $50 an hour and you could hire this out to a VA for 10 bucks an hour, it's not worth the company's time for you to be doing it, right? And one of the things I do once they figure out um, the areas like these are areas you're going to do, the areas you're going to, whoops, I can't get this to go. Areas you're going to develop, delete, and delegate. Once you do that, another thing you can do with a team is you can have them take everything they're going to delegate and put their name on it and the task and put it on a sticky, put a sticky for everything they're going to delegate and they put their name on it. Everything that they want to delete, put their name on it. Put all of those onto a board, onto a wall, and then everybody walks around and one at a time, walk around and pick up one thing. If there's anything up there you like doing that you think would be fun, you pull it off, but don't pick something you don't want to do or that sucks your energy or you don't like. Only pick things you like. So you do that. Everybody goes around one at a time, one at a time, one at a time until nobody, I don't want to do any of those other tasks. Great. Nobody, don't pick something you don't want. So now you can realign the tasks to the things that people are good at and their strengths. And then you're left with a bunch of tasks and you have your next hire. I've done that with multiple teams and that has been very effective. And if you do it over and over, the team becomes more and more efficient and more aligned with their strengths.
Is that the 4Ds worksheet?
Yeah, 4D worksheet. It's do, develop, delegate, and it's the same as the
D.
energy grid, but I didn't like how it was, so I changed it because I changed things. Because I can't, I'm
I
an
like it. I
arranger.
like that one. The
That's not
4D.
efficient. I'm gonna do this a different way. So those are some of my big ones. Has that been helpful, Jennifer?
Super helpful. Thank you.
Yep.
Um, yeah. And I did just get the first Canva. It looks like, do you have two separate Canvas? Because it looks like there was a one that had the first ones that we did, which we had the like the
Should have
five
been
dysfunctions
this,
of a
should be the
team.
same one. I don't know why it would not come to you.
Yeah, the one that had the five dysfunctions and the
Oh,
relational.
this one. Yeah, yeah, this one. I'm sorry. It was a different work. That
Oh,
was
that's
the
okay.
updated version of the other one.
Yes, it
And
was.
here's
Yeah.
this one.
Okay,
And
perfect.
then I'll send you my workbook that has my annual workbook, and you'll just have to look through and dig it out.
Happy
That's
to.
right. I do have, if you guys are interested, I also have a SAP workbook that's about 90 pages, but that's what I send out
Wow. Yeah.
if you want. And I can show you real quick if you want to see it. It's
Yeah.
Ignite. Now, this is not We Aligns, right? So just be aware. So
Right.
I'm just trying to remind you guys, I'm trying to represent well. This is Bill Mason. It's just what I prefer. I have
I do a lot
um,
of things on my own too.
yeah, it's part, and I'm repackaging and everything anyway. I'm not selling them through Wheel Line, I'm selling them through me. So this is what my SAP looks like, and basically it has a little welcome and overview. It has the balconies, the basements and balconies from Gallup with Gallup's credit, the hands
Yep.
model of the brain. And because I'm probably going to get into most of this, I just added it. And then I like this when you're looking at Achiever, when they open it in 2 pages, they're going to see that side by side. So they're going to get a picture of what an achiever does while they're filling it out.
That's awesome.
Does that make sense? And
Yeah.
and it opens so that those 2 pages are open at the same time. So I like that. And I use this feeling wheel because I'm not good with empathy, right?
Yeah.
So I don't even know what I'm feeling. I only have the inner circle. That's the only thing I feel.
Yeah.
I'm my wife when we first married, she's like, "What's up?" I'm angry. Well, why are you angry? I'm getting angrier. Can we please stop talking?
Yes. Yes.
Right? I have no idea what's going on, so don't even start asking. And then I usually have some, and then I pitch at the end, "Hey, you know, 1 year program in case you're interested in continuing. You said at first you didn't want to, but I'm just wanted to revisit that." So it gives a natural revisiting. And again, they walk away with something.
Do you send this to them a hard
I
copy?
do.
You mail it to
Yeah,
them?
typically every once in a while I'll just email it to them, but I
Okay.
almost always hard copy, and I usually put a rare leadership book in it and send it to them because
Wow.
it's 1,500. I'm usually charging them 14.99,
Yeah,
so it costs me, I don't know, 20 bucks,
sure.
and then I can put stickers and other stuff in there. Hey,
I
thank
love that.
you, and
Yeah.
I'll put a little sticker, sticky, thank you for being, my client, blah blah blah. So
Hmm.
that's what I do. Yep. But you guys are welcome to use anything I have. So.
Awesome. Thank you. This is really, really helpful. And
So we need to email you to say which ones you're interested in, or
Yeah, just email me so I've got your email, just so I don't forget. And I'll
I
try
have
to give
another
you a
question.
price.
One
Yeah.
last question relative to what you're saying, the SAP exercise. You take people through this. I remember you saying when we first started that you do SATs for free and you can run through them just real quick because there you get an opportunity possibly for a coaching relationship.
I did it first, but I don't anymore.
Okay, gotcha, gotcha.
Typically, I don't even tell people I do it pro bono. I usually will say if they can't afford it, I'll go, well, tell you what, I'll pay the $1,500 and I'll take you through it. Oh, I don't want you to do that. Well, it's either you pay or I pay. So if I give you my free time, well, there's a reason. I'm trying to communicate. I'm giving you a tremendous value. It's not free. Someone is paying for this. Either I'm paying with my time or you're not paying me or you're going to pay me, right? And if I give them a discount, I usually always tell them it's usually 19.99 because that is my set price. I almost always come to 14.99 because people like a bargain, right?
Mhm.
And I'm good with that. And I'm good with 14.99. If it's below that, I'm like, bro, let me check my schedule because I might have to give you a different coach because I'm not sure I want to do it for that. Does that make sense? And I'm good with that. And if they don't want to do it, that's fine too. I'm okay.
Yeah, you've
Um,
inspired me from saying earlier that you did them for free. I had this, again, the guy I'm working with on Pacific, he had a market area president, and I said, well, I'll do it for free. But I
yeah.
wished I had told him, said this really has value of
Yeah.
1,500, but one of us is going to pay because I mean, he really appreciated me doing that. And I'll have my final meeting with the market area president tomorrow. And they've been appreciative of that, but they really don't have a monetary concept of what they appreciate. So
Correct. Correct.
I'm glad you
The
did
other,
that.
what I do for free though now, Greg, is almost anybody I meet, I tell them if you'll take the Cliftons, and then I have a school.com work community that has my overview that usually takes me about 20 minutes to overview why we do the Cliftons. I say if you'll go take the Cliftons and you'll go to my free school, it doesn't cost you nothing, run through that 30-minute little presentation so I don't have to do it, spend that another 30 minutes. I'll give you an hour where I'll show you the value of Clifton's. And what I do is I go through their top 15. Hey, this is who you are. Da, 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 da. Yeah, that's exactly. How do you know that? I got your printout. And here's a job. You tell me if you'd sign up for this job. And I read off the basements of all their bottom eight. And they're like, oh my God, I would never want that job. I know because they're not your talents. That's why it sucks to do that. That's why I'm like that. Yeah, bro. It's because you're left-handed and everybody else is right-handed. And that's what I do. And I just tell them. So if this has been helpful, this is a pink spoon. This is a Dairy Queen's pink spoon of what we can do in 3 months. You should do the deep dive. It only costs $1,500. It will be the best investment you've ever made in your life.
Yeah. Thanks, Bill.
Yeah, so that's what I do, and I do those for free a lot.
Gotcha.
Almost anybody I meet, I let them do that because I have the time to do it. So yeah. Takeaways or alibi fires?
Oh, tons of takeaways, lots of resources are super helpful, lots of ideas. Um, yeah, very inspired.
Good.
My
Yeah,
Good.
takeaway is Bill is very generous.
yes, you're super generous.
Yes, thank you, Bill, for all your ideas and
Hey,
helpful information. And yeah,
yeah, you're welcome. As you guys go through any of these, if you see anything that's wrong, which you probably will, let me know because I'll fix them. And don't edit the one I sent you. I usually send you editor privileges, so just make a copy, do whatever you want with it. I don't care.
Yep. Thanks, Bill. Yeah, my takeaway is that like I love the way that you put the side by side where you put um that picture alongside of the coaching sheet.
Yeah,
It's just one more way because our minds can react so well to something that's visual. It helps cement that in, and it's like, boy, that one more thing just adds
right.
such value to the coaching conversation. So yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Next, all we need is a scratch and sniff, right? We'll get
That's
this.
right. What does that smell like?
Yeah.
One of the things I did with the rare leadership is I had them, we talked about being deregulated and I had them eat some sour thing. And then we talked about being regulated and I gave them a cupcake because we were going to talk
Ooh.
about cake, right?
Yeah. Oh, that's
So
good. Yeah, bringing in all the senses. I love it.
yeah, it was helpful. So. Hey, do me a favor if there's anything you guys want to talk about next month, even if it's like, hey, how do we do a specific workshop? How do you do those? Or anything you guys want to run through, we're here to help y'all. I don't know what you need, and I love having tools and being able to bring those off my bat belt and bring them. I'm not a developer, so I don't want to think, oh, I'm going to develop you for the next 14 hours. I don't like
Right.
doing that. So if you guys have whatever your urgent needs are, those are the things we want to do. And if you need us to bring stuff, I have resources. So I will bring something if you guys can't think of something, but it helps me if you guys give me ideas.
Okay. We'll do. When's our next call? A month from now?
A month from now, it's automatic. I don't
Okay.
have to
Okay.
look. It's on the
Feel like
calendar.
it's sometime. We'll see you.
In the words of my wife, well, I realized this one was today when Brian yesterday. I wasn't yesterday. Brian's like, "Hey, what are we doing?" Like, I don't know. I don't know. We're gonna talk to them to see what their greatest need are. We're gonna be coaches. So
Awesome. Well, we'll see you
awesome.
on September 2nd.
September 2nd. That's when it is.
Thank you,
Great to see
Bill.
you.
Thanks,
Yeah,
everyone.
Thanks.
thanks, Jennifer. Thanks, y'all.
You appreciate it.
Bye.
Thank you, Bill.
Have a great day.
That's great, man.